I'd like to talk with those of you who come from enmeshed families about how to navigate the holiday season. The holiday season can be particularly difficult if you come from enmeshment, where the demands for evidence of obligatory loyalties, excessive caretaking and responsibility tend to increase over the holiday season, making it more difficult for you to sort out what's best for you from how best to work with your family during this time and have a good and loving experience with them. So first of all, what I would recommend is that you sit down with a piece of paper or your computer or your phone and write out 2 to 6 bottom lines, boundaries, red lines, things that you will not cross. This could be the amount of time that you spend with your family. If spending excessive hours with them guarantees problems, perhaps you limit that. It could be topics of conversations, those topics that you will or won't participate in. It also could be a decision about where you stay if you have to travel to visit with your family. If you're accustomed to staying in the household with them and that becomes problematic, perhaps you begin to think about staying at a hotel nearby so that you have some separateness and some detachment should problems occur. Keep in mind that you also need to be prepared to be misperceived and misunderstood. Your parents may not understand why you need to do this. Looking for approval, looking for consensus only means likely that you could compromise these boundaries. Compromising these boundaries often leads to resentment and later withdrawal from your romantic partner or spouse. It's important too that you remember that your priorities are yourself, your romantic partner, spouse, and your own children. Romantic partners, spouses often feel left out or second fiddle to you negotiating these issues with your family. They often have to bear the brunt of your withdrawal or resentment should you have a difficult time with your family. So be sure to include them in your discussions. Stay aligned with your partner as you go through the situation with your family. If you're recovering from addictions, be sure to double down on your recovery processes. Sometimes people in recovery programs take a holiday from their recovery efforts. That's not a good idea. Holidays, particularly with enmeshed family systems, can provoke or lead to relapse. It's important to reach out to people in your support group who understand your recovery from not just your addictions, but your recovery from your enmeshment issues as well. So that might not mean that you pick up the phone and call your sibling, your sister or your brother. They may not understand. They may be a proxy or an agent for your parents' demands that you should somehow sacrifice yourself for the family at a cost to your own interests. It's important that you make sure you surround yourself with people who support you during this time. Also, stay out of any confrontation or arguments with your family. This is not a time to bring up what enmeshment is, what your recovery is about. Stay loving, stay detached, stay out of the bait to participate in arguments. And finally, I would suggest that you have a session with your counselor or therapist both before to talk about this plan, vet the plan with your therapist. They may be able to give you some insight. And I would be sure to have a session afterwards or with your marriage counselor afterwards so you can process the feelings so that they don't interfere with your commitment to yourself and your romantic partner. So have a happy holiday season while you honor your own needs to be separate, as well as loving your family at the same time. And remember, messages of guilt and disappointment that come your way do not have to dictate your decisions. Feeling guilty in this case may not be a representation that you've done something wrong or bad. It may be a representation that you're honoring yourself.